Hi guys, thanks
Good.
for coming. With the unusual practice schedule because of the Thursday games, remember tonight's the last night for any media interviews and practice, which is around 7 o'clock in the rain probably. So you know these two guys are we're reuniting them for
Taylor
media
melt.
day. So
Yeah.
the Tim and
That's
Tim
right.
show.
The Tim and Tim show from July. We ready? Okay. Certainly we're excited to get the season started. We've put a lot of work into it. The guy on either side of me here has done a nice job in a leadership role in terms of getting our team ready to go. I really like our football team. I like the work we've done, and now we get to go put it on the field on Thursday night at a Big Ten team. You know, for a team like us that hasn't won a bunch of games the last couple of years, you know, we feel like we're sledding uphill a little bit these first 2 weeks, playing a Big Ten team and a Pac-12 team, and you know, we're going to go out and give a great effort, and we'll try to steal a win in Minneapolis on Thursday night.
To that point about the schedule when you came in, can you go over what your philosophy was as you saw future games, and then with a team like Minnesota being where they are in the Big Ten and where you are, is it a good matchup? And I guess at this point, would you be disappointed if you're not in the game at the end to win like you were last year at this level of Big Ten team?
That's one question, 4 parts, Ed.
All
All right, good. Here it is. Here's what I think. You know, we open up with 3 bowl teams. Certainly, there are no gimmies for us. We've just needed to improve and try to find a way to win. You know, so for us, everybody's a quality opponent. We hope they feel the same. We hope we're evolving into the point where they feel the same way about us. Last year, Minnesota did beat us in a great football game. It ended up being 3 overtimes. Certainly, when you lose a game in the last seconds or in overtime or in triple overtime in this case, you feel like there are maybe some plays that could have happened that could get you over the hump. We have not played well on the road. We have not won on the road. And we need to flip that switch at some point in time. Whether it's this Thursday night or not, you know, we get to go see. So again, I like the preparation we've put in. I think Minnesota's a good football team. I think it'll be a major accomplishment if we're able to go in there and beat them.
I think you have Michigan eventually. So when you go scheduling philosophy, what's yours in terms of what you want to do for this program as you try to win one?
Well, I mean, for me, when I look at the places over the years, when you talk about scheduling, you know, scheduling Wisconsin and West Virginia and Texas and Florida and whoever, Michigan, Ohio State, that's easy. They want to play teams in our league in the non-conference. You know, those aren't hard games to get. But when I look at scheduling, when I look at the teams that historically had not been good football programs, I mean, at UNLV here, we're looking at maybe 3 winning seasons in nearly 30 years, okay? When you look at the turnaround at Oregon State in the late 90s, when you look at the turnaround at Kansas State in the mid-90s, when you look at what Coach Lubick started with Earl Bruce, followed by Coach Lubick at Colorado State, when they turned it around, one of the things they did is they scheduled winnable games where they're on at a minimum of a level playing field in the non-conference. And I don't think that anybody would say that UNLV and Michigan are on a level playing field. So that's my philosophy in scheduling. We've got to schedule games where we're even with people.
Bobby, week 1, game 1, obviously ball control is the key. What do you want to see out of your team on Thursday night in the first game?
Just in terms of the ball control part, Kev?
Just in general, you know, to get it going,
Yeah.
obviously,
Well,
that's always a factor, you know, to success.
Well, like I mentioned, we haven't played well on the road. You know, it's not about getting beat. It's about you got to play well in order to win. And so, I want us to go out and look like a united, well-drilled football team that's out there to try to win the football game, and not guys that are feeling their way. I think some of that's going to happen because we're a more veteran team than we've been in the past. I think we're capable. Guys have proved it, maybe not consistently, but at different times over the past 18 months that they can go out and compete at a high level, the guys that'll be in the game for us. So, we just want to be a competitive, detailed football team that goes out and plays a good game. And if we do that, we can look ourselves in the mirror, and whether we win or we lose, we can feel good about where we're heading. With that being said, you don't go into a game without trying to win the dang thing, and that's what we're trying to do.
You feel like entering this season, this is the best team you've had?
Yeah, I think I would say that. Yeah, I would say that.
Coach, with the fact that you feel confident with the best team and the fact that you have a good returning core, you were in last year's game with Minnesota. Is there a sense of confidence? Do you get a sense of revenge? And for either of the players, has there been a sense of revenge in going out there, that mindset?
Yeah, and I'll get it, and then you can go. I think the first thing is in terms of Minnesota, I think we're better, as I mentioned a minute ago. I think they're better too. I think they've improved. They went to bowl game last year. We didn't. They are moving forward and progressing like their staff would like them to, and I think they're well coached. I like how they do business. They're a well coached outfit. In terms of the triple overtime and the revenge factor, they're two different teams this year than they were a year ago. Everybody here is aware we lost in triple overtime. If that isn't somewhat motivational to find a play here or there to maybe get you over the hump, then we've got the wrong guys in our offices and in our meeting rooms. But I don't think that's the case. I think our guys are well aware of the fact that we had 3 or 4 games where we were ahead in the fourth quarter last year and we didn't finish the job. And if we can get ourselves into that situation at different times through the season, then we've got to come out with a win.
And just to add to that, it was like we lost in triple overtime. It did leave a nasty taste in everybody's mouth. But then again, we all the older guys always try to stress that last year is irrelevant now. That's last year, and then this year, like Coach said, it's going to be a whole different team, and we can't keep basing this game off how we played them last year. We got to come ready to play this year and look to get a win this time.
Bob, even though they are different teams, I imagine still there are tendencies you can spot on video from last year that will assist you in this game.
Yeah, we know each other. I mean, we go back a ways with their coaching staff too, as far back as 2006. So, and a lot of the same pieces are in place. So we know each other. We've watched a lot of games. I mean, your first game, everybody game plans them. We game planned them in early June, and they did the same on us, I'm certain. Probably spent some time on each other just before spring practice. So we know each other fairly well. We've watched a lot of their last year's game film. Obviously we don't have anything since then, but we have every game from a season ago that we've been able to draw from, and they've got the same. So, we know each other pretty well by this point in time.
Tim, you guys just talk about the first game, getting it going, and the excitement to just get the season started.
I'm very anxious, especially for me not playing springtime because of my injury and stuff like that. But so I'm very anxious to just get into the groove and back into it and to play. That's all it is for me, just anxiety.
Just getting the season started, yeah.
I could probably speak on behalf of the whole team. Everybody's anxious and foaming at the mouth. Real disappointed with the results we had last season. We expected us to do a lot better than that, but so we just try to talk as a team. Let's start from the first game. Let's not get behind like we did last year and try to fight out of it. Let's get things going from the first game, and we all feel very confident about it, and we're all ready to go.
Coach, do you see the same kind of game from last year where it was a defensive struggle until overtime?
Oh, heck, you can't predict how those things will go. Every time you say that, then it's, as I like to say, it's 48-49. Every time you say it's going to be a shootout, it's 3-0. So games play out the way they do. I think both teams are fairly well balanced, and I think our offense will provide some challenges for their defense, and I think our defense will provide some challenges for their offense, and vice versa. So, our kids are somewhat familiar with them as they are with us, and I think it'll be competitive.
Jerry has come out and talked about using his condition as a way to educate people on that. as a person in the same position as a head coach football program, could you imagine having to deal perhaps with that? And how do you think from afar and knowing him as you do, he's dealt with that situation?
Well, Jerry's a good guy. He's hardworking, and you know it's interesting as coaches. I think from all of us, we work long hours. We don't eat right. And it's not a recipe for health necessarily, our lifestyle, but I think Jerry's a great example of a guy that's able to fight through some things. That's kind of who he is, and you can take inspiration from him being a battler and not backing down from anything. And Jerry's one of those guys in coaching that when you talk to other coaches, you'd be hard pressed to find anybody that doesn't like him and respect the job he does.
Your health report's excellent going this game. Just how important is that?
Yeah, we are healthy. It's kind of exciting. You would like to say that's by design, how we practiced, how we prepared, and how we were able to do it. Some of it's probably just plain luck. Like to give credit to our smarts, but it's probably luck in some regards. But we're a healthy football team. When we got to last Sunday night up in Ely, and we were basically completely healthy with nothing long term, we started to scale it back and started talking about getting to the dance healthy, and that's what we've done. So assuming we don't lose anybody today, we should, or somebody falls off a bus or something, that stuff happens, but we should get the game pretty healthy.
You mentioned luck, but I mean, did you do anything in particular you think?
We did, Mark, and I think I mentioned this up there, maybe I didn't. Sometimes my inner monologue doesn't get onto you, but we did a lot of live and a lot of live situational work in the spring, so we didn't do as much live this training camp, especially with our first group, as we have in past years. And part of that is our first two groups are guys that have actually played in college football games before, so we were able to back it off in terms of live work. Where the rubber meets the road on that deal a little bit is we better tackle well on Thursday night. I think we've got a good tackling football team. I think we've become a team that tackles pretty well in space, and that needs to show up. But that's the calculated risk you take by not doing the live stuff.
That's kind of the general trend anyway, isn't it? Coaches are doing more and more of that.
Yeah, I think offensive head coaches in particular. That's the way it is. That's the way they are.
Right.
Tim,
speaking of health issues, and we had talked a few weeks ago, but after Ely coming back, how's your shoulder? How do you feel as far as your confidence in going in full contact and the mindset? Is there any tentativeness? Did you find maybe any apprehension thinking about it, or are you feeling good?
Oh, none at all. I mean, I've been 100% for a while now, and I've been falling out, I've been tackled on it, I've been pushed on it, I done pass protected on it. I mean, I done did everything I would do in a normal game. So
essentially, your teammates beat on you pretty good.
Yeah.
His teammates tested him out pretty good. Looked like it held up.
Bobby, can you talk about the things that you expect from Tim, obviously, for a few awards, and one of them, Earl. Anytime you talk about Earl Campbell and he's up for an award with his name on it, high expectations this season.
Well, Tim's kind of worked his way into that conversation. It doesn't just happen. Our expectation is that sometime, I would hope before November, Tim's the career leading rusher in UNLV history. We'll see how that goes. It's a physical position. Things happen, but that's our hope for him. I think most of the guys on our team, him included, they're into winning games, and they know that the individual stuff comes with success for the football team. And he's a guy that's worked hard, and I think watching practice, as recently as last night's practice, I think his vision has improved. He sees things better than he did as a freshman and sophomore, and if he can stay healthy, this should be his most productive year.
And Tim, just following up, just the things you're expecting this season, obviously, like you said, healthy, excited to go.
The same, like you said, winning games and the individual stuff will come with it. I feel like if I go out there and be productive on the field and my team's productive. And so I feel like winning games will help. That's all.
For both the teams there, just talk about how important it would be maybe to get the momentum to kind of get a win here to start the season, and knowing the history, you know, the team struggled on the road, just how big would it be to get this first one?
Yeah, first.
Yeah. I mean, I know it would be huge. It would just be a big sigh of relief, like off everyone's shoulders, you know, because there has been a lot of talk as far as like why we can't get a road win, and that's something we focus on as a team, coaches and players this offseason, and we talked about it. We talk about it all the time. Like there's no difference. The only difference is that the other team has, you know, people in the stands cheering for them. That's the only difference, which shouldn't even affect us. So that's something we've been stressing a lot here. But I know that I know we can win on the road, and once we do that, it's just everybody realize like it's really no different. And actually, like our Coach Hauck says all the time, it feels better to win on the road, you know. So this is something we're looking forward to doing.
I just feel it'll instill confidence in some of my teammates that don't have as much confidence as the others. I feel like just having that first win, that first road win, it just feel good to everybody in that. I feel like that can be a snowball effect for the rest of the season.
It's like Tim was saying, you're always talking about it with your buddies and so forth.
Oh,
why
yeah.
this team can't get a road win.
Yeah, always.
You guys ever wonder what it'd be like to get on that plane after a W?
We'll see soon.
Yeah,
We'll see.
Feeling this year.
Bobby, talk about Minnesota. Obviously, different team than last year offensively in certain spots, but
Yeah, they're a good outfit. As I mentioned when Ed asked his question, we think they're really well coached. They're improved. They kind of got it rolling a bit last year and did some good things. Anytime you're bowl eligible, they're recruiting the Big Ten. They've got Big Ten players. I mean, when you see them, you'll like the way they look. They're what you would envision a Minnesota team, physical up front on both sides of the ball, great size. I like their offensive line. You know, they haven't produced a depth chart, so I don't know exactly which pieces are going to play where, but they are a physical group up front on offense. They come off the ball and get after you. I like their backs a lot. The quarterback really did some good things last year. When they decided to go to Nelson and move Gray in and out a year ago, he did some good things. I think he's faster than Gray is. He's not as big, but he's faster. So we've got to be aware of that. He might be one of the faster players on their offense, maybe the fastest. Kind of like we felt about Russell Wilson going into that one, and then we watched him run away from everybody in our game and others succeeding that. So, they're a Big Ten football team, and their style is Big Ten-ish, and they'll be a physical outfit. We need to be ready to hold up to that.
big question. Is your defense, are you curious to see what your defense can do in this game one? Like you said, they're going to be physical up front.
I am really curious. We need to be vastly improved on defense. As I've said to you all in here a couple times, UNLV and defense haven't been synonymous ever, and our mission's to change that. We're hoping that process is moving along. We get a chance to show that here in the first 5 games of the season. We're going to play a variety of different styles of offense, and we need to be able to match up to all of them. This one, Minnesota, they're going to formation you. We've got to be prepared for a variety of personnel groups, shifts, motions, all those things that they like to do to get you out of position, and then they want to get after you. So I hope we're up to the task. I know that we've had good preparation. Our guys are tuned in. They'll be excited to play. Whether we're good enough, that's what we get to find out Thursday night.
How important is it? It's always important to try and play as mistake-free as you can, but especially on the road, how critical is that?
Well, I looked at a study a friend of mine did a few years ago, and in particular, mistakes such as turnovers on the road are really exponentially bad in terms of the wins and losses. So you have to take care of the football. You can't turn it over on the road. Behooves you to get a few. And that's something that when you look at it, when we're at home, we've done a better job of doing a lot of those things, playing cleaner, take care of the football. just all those things that go into it. So, you know, a good, sound effort by our football team is what's going to be necessary to give ourselves any chance of winning the game.
Nick, his season, the end of the last season when he had those picks, were the defenses doing something different with him late in the season as opposed to early on?
Not so much. You know, he got a little banged up, and you know, he just didn't play quite as well down the stretch. But, you know, as I half jokingly or three-quarters jokingly always say, the best thing about Nick is he's not a freshman anymore. He got those games, those starts, they're invaluable. The actual playing of the game and then the film work out of it, having played it, getting to review it 100 times, helps a guy to be better. And, you know, the only gauge I have to compare is where he was in spring ball a year ago versus where he is now, where he was in fall camp a year ago versus where he is now. And as recently as last night's practice, he looked very sharp, and I'm hoping for great things for him, both for his football team and for him personally.
Is there a fine line where you don't want him to make mistakes, but at the same time you don't want him to be afraid to try to make plays?
Yeah, I mean, and it goes for everybody on the team. You can't be tentative or hesitant, either because you're afraid of making a mistake or because you don't know what you're doing. So you have to be willing to throw it out there on one side of that, and you have to know where you're supposed to be so you can cut it loose and play fast. And you know, I think that's critical for our team to play fast.
Tim, how ready are you to showcase what the defense can do this year? Obviously, a big question mark on that side of the ball.
I mean, I'm ready. I feel like our coaches have been doing a great job preparing us, and they're going to continue to do that all the way leading up to the game. And we have a lot of guys, you know, eager to play and eager to, you know, learn and get better, and everybody is, you know, going to the film room and doing everything they can to prepare themselves the best way they can for the game. And I just think I feel like we got a good group of guys out there, and then I'm ready, you know, to get out there on the field with them and go to work.
It's obviously a team-first mindset, but for you personally, what have you done? What has been your personal goals to better yourself for the team?
I've been doing stuff, you know, mentally and physically, you know, trying to get stronger in the weight room and stuff, and working on speed and stuff like that. But I've been, you know, doing extra work like in the film room and trying to become a smarter player, because I feel like that's something I can use to my advantage on the field, you know, to try to help me make more plays and, you know, harder plays and stuff like that. So that's pretty much what I've been doing, trying to, you know, take my game to the next level.
Is there a sense of for you, local pride as far as an ambassador for Vegas and just to shine for the Rebels?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, not that it has anything to do with me being from Nevada, because I just want to, you know, do the best for my team. But it does feel good, you know, to be this is my state, and you know, try to go out there and represent and do the best I can, you know, to try to help my team win, and you know, to people, you know, so people can, you know, feel proud of having UNLV in their, you know, home state and stuff like that.
All right, you got an update on the Keys brothers?
No, nothing, no change right now, Mark.
So Kendall, are you rolling him out at this point?
I would say odds are, but I mean, you never say never. And Kenny's still doing his thing.
You don't count on Kenny at all right now, right?
No, he's working through his stuff and gonna be good. Just got to take care of business at school and all those things, which all our guys have to do.
Is Kendall's a matter of when and not if, or is it?
No, we're just working through some compliance and NCAA qualification issues, and you know, they tend to a little bit work at their own pace, so we're just kind of waiting on that. And you know, it's really more about in terms of Kendall, it's more about the kid and him and his future, and we hope things go well in that regard for him.
Coach, as you head into a new season now, who's given you the best advice over the past couple of days?
You know what? The advice is flowing in now. We're 0-0 right now. There's a lot of advice out there. When things aren't going well, the advice is somewhat fewer and farther between sometimes. But you know, it's the best advice I got is enjoy your job, have fun. You got into it because you loved it, so that's what I'm doing.